Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Cuatro Dos. Once again, this is your boy Cristian, and once again, we have Nico, and we're going to talk Premier League as we have, I guess we can say usual, maybe, even though this is our second week talking about it. But how you doing, Nico?
I'm doing good. Just getting ready for another week of football.
You're packing. What is that? What is that? We're packing for
Uh,
what?
Packing to go watch the games. Nah, we're gonna go to Houston to visit family, so it's long overdue. So noon, we're gonna go drive down and get there around like 4 or 5 or 6 ish. So
Damn, it's a
yeah.
long drive. But just in case you guys don't know, me, I'm off of in KD, Texas, which is right outside of Houston, and then Nico is in. Are you technically in Dallas, or are you in another
I'm in
state?
Denton,
Denton.
Texas.
That's country
Yeah.
shit. But yeah, so yeah, just so you guys know where we're at in the world, we're in Texas, but we might even, I don't know, we might record something later on in the
Yeah.
week. I don't know, talk shit. But yeah, let's get to it. Premier League week one just happened. We are actually in the verge of going into week two, which we're going to talk about it as well. But I don't know if did you get to watch any games, and if you did, let me know which ones you did.
Yeah, so I watched the first game, the Burnley against Manchester City. It went as predicted, as I predicted.
Yes.
I knew Manchester City had it like in the bag. It wasn't too much of a hassle. I watched the Arsenal game or half of it. I watched a Brighton game. I'm trying to see which ones like I going off the list. I watched the Newcastle game. That was a heartbreak.
That was a heartbreak.
Um, I watched a little bit of the Chelsea versus Liverpool, and then and that's about it. To be honest, I didn't really catch many. I was trying to watch Brentford and Tottenham. I watched like the first half, and then I went to church, so it wasn't. It was uneventful. I knew it was going to be a tie or Brentford was going to win, but it was a tie. So
All right, you will. I mean, you watch a lot of soccer, man. You watch a lot more than me. I watched one full game, I think, if I'm not mistaken, which was the defeat of Aston Villa against Newcastle, and then I did watch a little bit of the Man City Burnley. I did catch a little bit of, I think, which one was it? The Lundtown
Brighton.
Brighton. But we can talk about it. I watched a bunch of the highlights. So let's just start off with Sheffield United. They actually lost to Crystal Palace. There was, nothing there, nothing crazy, nothing too much. I
Mm-hmm.
think on that one, you had Crystal Palace winning. I had Sheffield winning. I mean, Crystal Palace as well. So we both got
Yeah.
that right. I think it was kind of pretty common sense in a way, even though, Crystal
Yeah.
Palace is not a great power. Man City, Burnley. What you think about, Haaland? I guess the question would be, so Haaland last year got 36 goals, 5 assists. Do you think
Mm-hmm.
he has a better season or a worse season than that? Because I mean, that was like peak season right there.
That's a good one.
He
That's a good
already has
question.
two. He already
Yeah,
has two,
yeah.
and it's 1 week.
Yeah, he has 2 and 37 more games to go. So it's actually it's doable. But maybe the thing is like since De Bruyne got injured, I don't know. But there's always like other pieces that you know that Manchester City can put in. So I would say it's doable. Never mind. I go back with my yeah, he's gonna probably get 40.
So your prediction is maybe 40 and up?
40 and up, yeah.
40 and up. That's
Yeah,
a lot of
yeah.
goals. Because that would be
Yeah.
breaking another record, right?
Yeah. I think last year he had like 39.
Well, I have
Yeah.
36, unless
36.
I was
Okay.
wrong here.
No, that sounds about right. I mean, I know it was like in the upper 30s, so I was like, I know it was a record, so I think he's gonna go for it again,
And
kind of
then
deal.
second question that I had for you is how much do you think Kevin De Bruyne's injury will affect this Man City?
He's out for 4 months. I don't think that much, to be honest. I think they got Kovacic and they got other pieces that could replace him. So I don't think it's gonna make that much of an effect.
And tell us about your friend in the background, just in
My
case
fan.
you, yeah, the
Oh
the,
my.
the, the dog.
Oh, my little boy Milo. He's a corgi. So I would say he's I don't know what the Queen went for, but what team she went for, but I would say he's a Manchester fan.
All right, there you
But
go.
he's a little brown guy, so kind of similar shirts, I guess.
There you go. There, close enough. So also Manchester City did go on to play Sevilla or
Yeah,
Sevilla.
I saw that game.
For is that like a Super Cup type? I forget the
Yeah,
actual
it
title
was like
name.
the Europa Super Cup or
Europa,
Europa.
yeah. So basically, the champion of the Champions League and the champion of the
Yeah,
Europa League.
which kind of
Um,
surprised me. I'll be honest. I thought it was
yeah,
gonna be a blowout, and then it went straight to penalties. And at one point, I was like, "Man, Sevilla kind of has it. Maybe they could pull it off. They did it to the last minute. So, but the guy pulled up Megan Rapinoe and blasted it. So
there you go. Shout out to Megan Rapinoe. So another match that we had was Arsenal beating Nottingham Forest 2-1. Did you get to watch anything about that? Did you see the goal at least from Saka?
yeah, yeah, I was for that.
It
It
was a
was it
good
was
goal. It was
it
a
was
good goal.
beautiful. It was beautiful. I saw the first half and I was like, okay, this is game over. And
Yeah,
then I kind of saw like in and out of the second half because I was like, it's kind of game. And then when Nottingham scored, I was like, okay, this game is changing because Nottingham, it's like they could go for the tie and they get that 1 point, but time expired basically. Like they give a lot of time, extra time, which is kind of interesting now. Given like five,
yeah,
10 minutes of extra time, you're like, whoa, this game is going on forever now.
right.
Like so, which I like, kind of I like. I'm for it and I'm against it. Like I'm for it if I'm like losing by 1 goal. I'm against it if I'm winning by 1 goal and the team is like destroying my like goal.
Yeah, just
So
coming at you, trying to get that tying goal. But yeah, kind of talking about that a little bit. Basically, what they did is they went with the motto of the World Cup, which was like they're adding a lot of extra time to compensate all the time that is not being played. I think there was a graph. I don't know if I'll ever find it, but there was a graph that kind of showed all the time that actually was being played and the time that the
mhm.
ball wasn't being played, and it was like 50 minutes of actual playing time, like like average, right? It's
Yeah,
not every game, but it was kind of insane. You're like, damn, is there like so much like kind of like
stoppage. Yeah.
fuckery around in soccer? But I mean, when you think about it, that's part of the game, right? Like the
Oh
whole
yeah,
waste of time and just it be walking slow to a
yeah.
ball and
No,
this and that. Oh,
or like the subbing. It's like
yeah,
it
yeah,
was like you walk out
for real.
like
So I mean, kind of talking about that, there's actually a couple of rules in MLS Next Pro. I don't know if you're familiar, but for example, if one of the players gets injured, right, in the field,
yeah.
if he doesn't get up and like start playing back again in like 30 seconds,
Hmm.
and like so the you have 30 seconds to get back up, basically.
Yeah.
If you don't get up, then the help gets called in. If help gets called in, you have to be outside of the pitch for 3 minutes.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Oh.
you leave your
You live in a team
team,
with
yeah, with
so
10
if you get
people
hurt,
or
you get hurt. Like
exactly. Yes. And I mean they also did, the whole like if you get replaced, you have to leave the field in the closest kind of like
area, vicinity, yeah, of the
area.
field.
Yeah. So I
Like
mean
don't
that's
travel across the field. Like no, you're like
yeah,
there's a
just get
line,
out.
step out. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So it's,
understand that
it's gonna
one.
be interesting. It's gonna be interesting to see, what kind of rules and like modifications soccer kind of does in the next
Yeah.
few years. Because, here in the League's Cup now, there was no games that went to tie. Like you went straight to PKs,
But that's
and
what they did with the Sevilla and
oh, they went straight to PKs.
they went straight to PKs after the game, which I did.
Yeah, it makes
I
sense,
kind
right?
of like. Yeah, I mean, it's like you barely started the league, so I was like, why not? Like it makes the
Yeah,
game go faster in a
exactly.
way.
Yeah, yeah. But moving on to the next match that I have here was the Caicedo, what I call the Caicedo Derby. So Chelsea, Liverpool. So Caicedo is a Ecuadorian player. Shout out Ecuador. We're actually wearing the jersey randomly. Um, so Caicedo had, I guess, a verbal agreement with Chelsea that was going to be like the only club that he was going to go to if
Uh-huh.
he was ever going to leave Brighton. Liverpool made a bid for him. I think it was over $100
Yeah.
million. And unfortunately, well, I don't know if unfortunately, but at least Caicedo kept his word and he
And
signed for Chelsea, right? I think
yeah,
it was upwards of like 140 or something like that. Like
yeah, it was a
140.
lot. And there was like
It
a
was a
record
lot.
breaking for Brian or overall, I think.
Yeah. Imagine,
'Cause-
bro, the money Brighton is making right now
Ah,
with McAllister and
well,
freaking Chris.
they didn't make that much money with McAllister, which is the funniest thing. I think he got sold for like 18. He didn't get sold for a lot.
No, no way. For real? That's
Yeah,
insane.
you gotta. I don't know if somebody can fact check me or something. It wasn't like the McAllister transfer wasn't.
But well, as you talk, so Pochettino, it
Okay.
was his first game, the manager there,
Yeah.
obviously going against Klopp. But I mean, it was pretty cool. And what I guess it was a 1-1 game. Obviously, both teams had, chances and stuff like that. But something that I really like was the Chelsea jersey. I don't know if you saw it.
Oh,
It didn't have a sponsorship on it,
it
so it
looked
was
dope.
pretty interesting. Yeah, it's pretty cool. But
Well, I
did you
mean, they
find
got.
out?
I was looking it up. According on May 20, on it says reports of Argentine newspaper La Nación have indicated that 24 US set to command a fee around 60 million.
60.
But yeah, I could have sworn I read somewhere like it was less than that.
They probably bought him from Boca at 18.
Yeah, or
So
Argentina Juniors or something.
yeah, whoever owns them technically, I guess.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, let's move on. That wasn't unless you have anything to say about Liverpool, Chelsea.
Nah, I mean, I really watched that one. Like, it kind of seemed boring,
Yeah. I mean,
but
two
yeah,
good teams, so it was gonna be a tight. It was gonna be a tight game on that one.
tie game. I think Chelsea, Liverpool was like attacking like crazy.
We both had Liverpool winning, so that's the
Yeah,
next on that. Another game, well, a game that I actually watched because I went out to the pub with the boys, was the Newcastle Villa, Aston
yeah,
Villa. I think me personally, I think the first half was really good for Aston Villa, even though they ended up, they went to the half losing 2-1. But I think Newcastle in the second half just literally pulled, like tore apart Aston Villa
yeah.
in every way possible. It was terrible. What you
What do you
got?
think was a major like that caused them to go down? Like other than I mean the injury with
Mings,
Minks, yeah.
yeah,
Because I think even though like I have like mixed feelings about it, he's a key piece like and as a
yeah.
center back. But
Captain, center back. It was like a combination of mistakes that kind of led to like a bunch of the goals, at least like 2-3 goals were mistakes by the defense, and you're like, what are we doing type thing.
yeah,
And then I mean, not to discredit Newcastle. I mean, Newcastle has one of the best teams in the
yeah,
Premier League, last year and this year. So it's not like we're playing some chumps. We're playing a Champions League team.
yeah.
So I mean, it was expected that it was going to be difficult going into Newcastle,
Mhm.
and Newcastle having a really good squad, are really good new players for them, and as
Yeah,
well. But I honestly I think it's like one of those things. Like once they start scoring, like they keep scoring, you
yeah.
know,
Until
and
time runs out, basically.
exactly, you just don't know how to stop it. All you can do is just kind of like try to make sure they don't keep scoring.
Yeah,
But I mean, obviously, I don't think the scoreline is fair. Because Villa did have a really good first half, but then again, second half was just kind of downhill. But it is what it is. So you just kind of dust yourself off and move forward. I
move
mean,
forward.
it's a long season, so
Yeah,
hopefully it's a learning curve. Next up, we got Brentford Tottenham, a 2-2, a post Kane Tottenham, right?
I know.
The star, the guy that grew up there, the guy that gave everything for the club, that never won a trophy.
Yeah,
But he moved on to Bayern Munich to see if he can get something going on over
yeah,
there. And Brentford, also didn't,
yeah,
they didn't, put, lift the foot off the gas. But we had a goal from an Argentinian, Cuti Romero, had the
yeah.
first goal of the match. And then both of the teams towards the end of the game, they both have chances to kind of win it. I don't know if you have anything to say about that one.
I mean, other than that, I mean, yeah, Cuti Romero did well, and then he got injured. Scored the goal, and then I think it was just I didn't really watch much of it because I was getting ready, but I think it was like an even game. Like they both had chances. They both could have like won it up certain points, but it's one of those like it's kind of interesting seeing a Tottenham post Harry Kane era. So it's gonna be an interesting team to see. And who's gonna take the role as being the forward now, the number 9.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know who they put up. I mean, as the number 9, I don't think Richarlison has it in him. Be honest, but
And that was like a kind of an expensive buy for them, right? Or Charleston.
yeah, yeah,
Like it wasn't. It was a pretty penny. Let me see who they had. Yeah, I mean they had Richarlison as a number 9, and then they had
uh,
Madison, Kulusevski, and then
yeah,
Son, on that midfield. So I mean Madison had two assists. He was the man of the match. So
yeah,
at least he kind of showed up in
yeah.
without Kane.
No, for
All right.
sure.
Moving on, I think we'll leave the Man U Wolves to the end. Brighton Luton Town, first game of the season, or was it the first game? First
Yeah.
game of the season for Luton Town. And then they went to Brighton. Obviously, 4-1 victory for Brighton. How did you see that? What did you think about Luton Town?
Luton Town has a lot of work. It's like I said last week, it's a lot they're biting more than they can chew. So either they're gonna have to like kick it up or it's gonna be a long season. So they have 37 more games to go and they gotta I saw somewhere I was like trying to see where to watch all the games and apparently the Luton Town and I think it's Luton Town Sheffield United game is postponed because they got to fix their stadium. But if they really want to match up, if they really want to stay in the first division, they gotta basically pony up and get their shit together. Otherwise, as soon as they went up, they're gonna go down.
Yeah. And then also shout out to Morris, who had the first ever goal for Luton Town. So, at least he'll go down
Yeah,
in history for that. But yeah, I mean, going into this game, you knew Brighton was going to be Brighton. I mean, they
oh
they
yeah,
played really well last year. This season, they have to kind of, get ready because not only they'll
yeah,
have, this competition, but they have Europa League.
no for
Uh,
sure.
so,
I know.
it's gonna be a good team.
I saw like a post somewhere that said Brian's last season was the first season like the highest they ever been.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they're gonna be like, no, we want to go up in there again. And they lost a lot of key pieces.
Yeah.
I mean, they lost McAllister, they lost Aicedo, but I think they still got it. I mean, they're a pretty young team, and their scouting system is just like amazing. And now they have the money for it because teams keep buying their players like crazy. So
Well, as two Boca fans, and they were actually
yeah,
in the lookout, or trying to entice one of the Boca Juniors players, El Colo Barco, and he was a really good left winger guy. He started as a left back. Now they're kind of playing him a little bit higher on the
yeah,
field, and that would have been a good get. I think they're offering like 9 million for like 80% of his pass or
yeah,
whatever they call it. Um, but Boca kind of turned it down. They thought it was kind of too low, and the kid kind of wants to stay, in Boca till the end
yeah.
of the year to play Copa Libertadores. But I mean, yeah, the scouting for Brain, I mean, it's top notch when you
No,
look
for
at the
sure.
guys that like the way that they're turning around players. You're like, bro, they
Yeah,
made almost 200 million on two guys. Like that's
that's
good
a
business.
no, and I mean they also got like other players. Like you got the Enciso, who like I didn't know who he was until like Brighton, basically, and it's a Paraguayan kid that came out of nowhere,
Yes,
and
he's
and,
good.
and he's like 18, 19. And then they got I know they had
Mitoma,
Mitoma, they had another Argentinian forward, uh, Buenanote, like
yeah,
winger forward. So their scouts are they're not afraid to like go because Mitoma's from Japan, like they're not
yeah,
or like a CISO or like they go to the countries that they're like okay this kid's doing well. Like
yeah.
we hear a lot about this kid. Let's try to like, sweep him in before
One of the
and
big ones.
yeah, and they buy him on the cheap. I mean, not trying to brag on the other leagues, but like 10 million compared to, and then they turn him around and sell him for 40, 50 after he had a good season. Like that
Yeah.
speaks a lot, speaks volume to the team's effort and ability to like. make money in the
Exactly.
business aspect.
And also, I mean, kind of talking on the coach. I mean, I always forget his name, but I mean, the fact that
Uh,
he's able to he like turn it around. You know, like you kind of know you have a
yeah,
team, and next year it might look different, but the way that he kind of adapts to it and
yeah,
still keeps the same playing pattern that he had last year. I mean, Brian, they play really good soccer. It's not like they're just kind of like a made up team in a way.
yeah.
Um,
It's not a
and I
pickup
mean,
team. It's
yeah, obviously, you know, it's the first game against a barely promoted team. You know,
yeah,
you kind of have to see what they're gonna do with the next, you know, with the other teams and the
yeah.
bigger teams. You know, when they go against City, United, you know,
Yeah,
Liverpool, Manchester, or whatever it may be, right? But I mean, last year they gave them a run for their money, so I don't
yeah,
see why this year would be different, right?
oh, for sure.
Let's go. Let's move on to Bournemouth, West Ham. That was a 1-1 game. There was a West Ham golazo. I don't know if you saw it,
No, I haven't seen it.
um,
I'll probably watch after
but
this.
it was really really good. But I mean, there honestly, I didn't have a lot of notes for that one. It was just a 1-1 thing, and I think West Ham
Yeah.
came out victorious in the fact that they went to Bournemouth and they got a point off. So and then I think I was reading that Tyler Adams, the American captain, if I'm not mistaken, might go to Bournemouth because he was at Leeds. He had a relegation clause, which basically means that if Leeds would get relegated, he was able to get sold to another team that was in the top flight. So if I'm not mistaken, his fee is $20 million. So he
Okay.
might end up going to Bournemouth for 20 million
Yeah.
here soon. So I mean, we'll see if Bournemouth can kind of turn around. You know, it's one of those teams that you kind of forget about, right?
Yeah.
You keep them in the back burner, but I think if they can put themselves together, why not compete for not for top four or anything, but just kind of stay in the top 10.
Yeah. No, and maybe make it to the Europa League too. Like
Yeah, why not?
I know that's one of those things like they strive for.
Yeah.
So
I mean, Aston Villa, Brighton made it, so
yeah.
there's always a chance. There's always a way to kind of push through. Another match that uh, kind of like went bad for Everton was the defeat that they had at home against Fulham. Fulham goalkeeper he was probably man of the match. I don't even know, but I know he had at least 5 saves during the game. He was extremely vital to kind of keep Fulham in the game, and he did. And yeah, he was man of the match. Bern Leno.
Yeah.
Let me see. He had an 8.4 rating of football. Let me see how many saves he had. He had 9 saves.
Wow.
His XG, like say his opponent XG, was a 3.31. So basically, Everton was expected to at least make 3 goals, and they didn't score one of them. He
Wow.
had 3 diving saves, 8 diving saves inside the box. Let's see here, 15 recoveries. And then if you are a fantasy player, he had 12 points. So I mean, it was a good day to
Hey,
have Leno, Bernd Leno, who is a
those are
good German goalkeeper that plays for Fulham. So I mean, Everton. What can you tell us? I mean, we kind of knew that they were going to be maybe shit, but what can you say about them?
I mean, not much. I mean, I didn't really catch the game, so I'm not, know much about them. So
Yeah, it
hopefully
basically if you
they can
look at
step
the
it up.
highlights, all it is Fulham fucking up in the defense and the goalkeeper saving their asses the whole entire game. That's all the highlights
That's
for
it.
Fulham. So hopefully they can get their shit together because honestly, like if they're gonna go against more lethal teams,
Oh no.
Everton unfortunately doesn't are not lethal whatsoever. So that's gonna be also
Yeah,
a hindrance for them.
if you go against a Haaland, like he's gonna score 35 goals and he's gonna break the record in a game.
Right? Yeah,
So you gotta. That's one of the things is like as a defense they gotta like step it up.
for sure, for sure. And then to kind of finish off the week, and then we're
Yeah.
gonna start looking at week two. Man City received or hosted Wolves, and I don't know if you got to see the controversy towards the end of the game.
No. Yeah,
Um,
I saw that highlight about it. I was like, that's a penalty, sir.
right. So yeah, what
Yeah.
kind of elaborate on that? What did you kind of explain the
Uh.
play if you remember
Okay.
it?
So if I remember correctly, it was the goalie comes out, basically knocks out the forward, like both fists up. Goalie was not near the ball. It's a straight up penalty, but they reversed it, saying that no, it wasn't. So I'm like, okay, so what's the whole point of the VAR? They're gonna not do what they're supposed to do. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe the check cleared. I don't know. I'm just throwing,
Right.
you
You
know.
never know. But the whole point was that this game was 1-0 in the favor of Manchester United. It was the 95th minute of 97 to be played, so
Yeah.
there was only a couple of minutes left. Kind of one of the final plays of the match. There was a cross into the box. Wolves player goes up in the air to kind of hit the ball, like you said. Goalkeeper comes out, 2 punches. He completely misses the ball. No contact whatsoever with the ball. A lot of contact with the player, and VAR said no PK. And what's great? I don't know if you know, but it was crazy that the referee got suspended for next week, and the VAR referee got suspended for next week. So both of those guys are not going to be in a field. And I think the actual referee association, the president, who is a really well-known referee that
Yeah.
I'm forgetting his
He
name,
used to.
Mike Dean, I think it is.
Oh, really?
I think, I'm not sure, don't quote me on that, but I think he actually apologized to the Wolves manager because he got a yellow card for, obviously, he was pissed off, right?
Yeah. Like, hey, what the heck? Like,
Yeah, I mean, it was a vital. I mean, that's
it's a
points
point. It's a point. I mean,
away.
they're also fighting for for the season. They're either the fight to stay relegated, or I mean, in the
In the
league,
league.
or and it's any little point counts basically, and that's
Exactly.
for a team to do that to you. It's like, yo, what the heck? Or not even the team, for the refs, like. Because like it's not out of like the other teams did it. I mean, yeah, the other team caused a foul, but it was the refs that didn't call it. So, and that, I mean, the conspiracy keeps going. It's like, did the check clear on time, kind of deal.
Right. So the question is, I guess, for you is, do you think um big teams, quote unquote, like big name teams like Manchester
Uh-huh.
United, do they get, special treatment from referees?
I mean, it's always been said, yeah. So I mean, I'm not gonna say, yeah, no, they do. Like you could always say, yeah. I mean, and don't get me wrong, like one of my favorite teams is a big team, and I'm sure, but they got favored a couple of times here and there. But yeah, they do. They do. Like, I think it's one of those, like, oh, shut up. It's okay. Like, you're gonna be fine, even though it's obvious. Like, that was foul. But what pisses everybody more like off more is just the fact that you have an assistant referee that knows all the angles and sees everything and says,
Yeah.
"Nah, it's fine."
You,
Like,
you know it's crazy that the game has so many referees. Not only you have three in the field, you have the fourth official, you have
yeah,
VAR, you have assistant VAR, and all these people concluded that there was not a foul. Like, that's
yeah.
insane.
No, and I could give it to you, the lineman, because maybe you can't really see the angle well, especially with everybody going on. Plus, it's like you see it in an instant. You're not like, you can't really recheck your memory. Like,
Yeah.
take out like, but you have people like going back and forth on a recording. So that's what's like more astounding.
Literally, you can pause, fast forward, go
Yeah,
slow, different end. Like, it's crazy.
yeah.
It's
I mean, I
insane.
I, I don't like it when they like pause and go slow motion, because sometimes it's like that's not how the play went. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, but
All right.
it
So, no, go ahead. Finish up.
no. I was gonna say it makes the impact, like if a player hits another one, it's like it makes the impact more like harder than what it actually was. It's like it looks like he like destroyed his leg, but he barely touched it. Like he scraped it, and it's a foul, but it's not like a red card kind of deal. It's a difference.
Yeah. All right. Let me kind of go through the results that we had given. So
Hmm.
you had one, two, three, four, five correct
Ooh,
results, and then five incorrect, right?
correct. Okay.
And then I had one, two, three, four, five results correct and five incorrect.
Okay, so
So,
we're even.
well, yeah,
We're
we're even for match week 1. All right, let's jump into match week 2 to kind of shut it down here.
Yeah.
So you can get ready for your trip. So first game of the match, or sorry, first game of the week too. We have actually today at 1:45 p.m. on a
Yeah.
Friday. Is going to be Nottingham Forest, Sheffield United. Who you got?
Nottingham. Nottingham. They played pretty well last week. I mean, they if they could score early, they're gonna have it up.
I also have Nottingham on that one. We have Fulham, Brentford.
With what you said about Fulham, I'm going for Brentford.
I was actually thinking the same thing. So I'll go Brentford. We're on the same page on that one. Liverpool, Bournemouth.
Liverpool. I mean, I
Liverpool.
wanna one because I have McAllister on my fantasy team now. So,
There you go. Also, hey,
but
you pull up your fantasy team,
oh
and
shoot.
I want you to give it to the people
Okay, okay. Let me see.
because yeah, we'll keep talking. So Luton Town, Burnley, like you said, is going to be postponed. So there's not going to be games on that one. Luton Town, as we know, their stadium. You know, if you haven't,
Yeah,
it's very unorthodox, if that's a word.
yeah,
Uh, and obviously they're doing a lot of remodeling. They have to make sure like a certain amount of people can fit in the stadium, and I think right now it's not up to standards or whatever it may be, right? So
yeah.
they're gonna have to postpone. I'm surprised that they're not playing like somewhere else, like in another.
That's what I was thinking. It's like how come they don't play? Like I'm sure not Burnley, but like
Yeah,
another teams that maybe that they don't
yeah,
play there.
somewhere close. Yeah,
Yeah, especially if they're gonna how long are the renovations gonna keep going? So
yeah, yeah. They've been working all summer, so we'll see how
yeah.
how long it's gonna take. Next game is gonna be Wolves Brighton.
Oh, I'm gonna go for the Brian on that one. Even though they always have issues with the Wolves, like every time I've seen them play, but I think Brian has it. They're pretty solid right now.
I did the same thing. Next few games are going to actually be really good.
Oh yeah.
Tottenham, Manchester United. Who you got?
Oh, I would say Manchester United. Actually, no, I
Yeah,
say that's a tie. That's a tie.
tie. All right,
Yeah,
bet. Shit, you stealing all my answers. Uh, I was gonna say a tie too. Let's go tie. We
yeah.
literally have the same answers so far. Man
Okay.
City, Newcastle. That's a good one right there.
You remember how we talked about like how big teams steal?
Yeah,
Like get favored, not
yeah.
steal. I would say Man City on this one.
Man City. On this one,
Yeah.
I'm actually going against you, and I'm going to say Newcastle.
Okay.
Aston Villa, Everton.
If they go hard, Aston Villa.
I said the same thing. They're at home. Everton, honestly, it wasn't too. It didn't. It didn't. I didn't feel too great about them, and I feel like Aston Villa is going to turn it around. So hopefully they do. West Ham, Chelsea.
Um, I'll say a tie.
Fine.
I don't
I'm
think
gonna.
Chelsea has.
Yeah, I'm
Go
gonna
ahead.
say West Ham on this one. I don't know why.
Okay.
Even though how much was it their last? Even though they did tie Bournemouth, but it was away, so maybe at
Yeah.
home they'll be a little bit stronger. And then to finish off the week, it's going to be Crystal Palace against Arsenal on the Monday.
Arsenal.
Arsenal. I'm going to say tie.
Tie. Okay.
So there we go.
Any reasons for the tie? Yes.
I don't know. I just think it's going to be a tie. So
Well,
we'll see. We'll see what's up. But yeah, man, that's going to be everything. We'll see you guys next week. Oh, your fantasy team. Let us know about your
oh
fantasy
yeah,
team.
yeah. My fantasy team. So for goalie, I have Ederson.
Mm-hmm.
In defense, I have Stupinian, Saliba, Tompkins, and Target.
Yeah.
In midfield, I have Mitoma, McAllister, Odegaard, and Gross. I was trying to actually get the whole Brian like lineup from last season, but I wasn't able to because I said I wasn't traded yet. Up top, I have Julian Alvarez and Watkins.
There you go. Shout out Watkins.
Yeah,
That's
and then
another good.
yeah, and then my replacements are Pope, Cash, Almiron, and Kieda myself. So
That's a good team. That's a good team.
yeah,
But yeah, guys, so this is gonna be the end of the week 2. So we'll catch you guys next week with the result of week 2 and a little bit of week 3. So we'll see you guys next week. Y'all have a good one. Bye bye.
Bye bye.